Portland Curling is brought to you by Evergreen Curling Club, a 501c3 nonprofit sports organization in Beaverton, Oregon. Visit our website at evergreencurling.org. Portland, Oregon, the curling capital of, well, Oregon. This is Portland Curling. Hi, I'm Sarah Maywalt. We're going to get you right to the curling action. But in case a few of you aren't that familiar with the sport, we have a short 2-minute primer courtesy of Curling Canada and the World Curling Federation. After that, we'll jump right in. See you in 2.
Curling! The game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake and a coin flip to determine who goes first. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. The target? A 12-foot house that looks like a bullseye, just under 150 feet away. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds, called ends, until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it? Each team has a captain called the skip. Like a general on the battlefield, the skip calls the shots that will best ensure victory. Stones are delivered with a predetermined rotation, so they actually curl as they travel down the ice. Of course, this is why the sport is called curling. Over the course of each end, players can throw guards to block the house, draws to try to score, or takeouts to remove the opponent's stones. The skips then spend the rest of the time yelling like a crazy person. What they're actually doing is emphatically advising their players to brush the ice in front of the stone. Brushing can drastically affect the speed and direction of the shot. After each team throws its 8 shots, the team closest to the center of the house will score. Or, if they have more than 1 rock closer than the opposition, they count as well. Once all the ends have been played, whoever has the most points wins. Aside from a few dozen other minor details, that's all there is to it. Find a curling facility near you and get started.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Portland Curling. My name is Sarah Maywalt, and I will be your guide on this curling quest. With me today is Mr. Jeff Tomlinson. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Sarah.
So, give the ladies and gentlemen at home a little bit of your resume, your resume, if you will.
Resume. Well, I started curling in Seattle when I was about 8 years old in the mid-1960s. Curled socially with the family, mom, dad, and my brother, and then progressed into junior competition. Took a few years off for school and such, and then got involved with some serious competition in the men's. Played several nationals, did make one world competition and won the junior nationals one year. And then the past 10, 15 years been involved with MOPAC, getting them going.
So today we are going to be watching the MOPAC Mixed Doubles Final. This is the big enchilada of mixed doubles for the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. So today we have 2 teams. Obviously, that makes sense because this is curling. The red will be Dana Watson and Kevin Rutherford, and the yellow team will be Katie Feldman and Brian Feldman. No Corey Feldman on that team, unfortunately. The Feldmans curl out of Wine Country Curling Club in California, and Dana and Kevin curl right here out of Evergreen. So have you ever played mixed doubles?
Yes, but only 3-4 times. Mostly as a substitute, I get called up in the league saying, "Hey, somebody can't make it. Jeff, can you come in?" It's a different game. Only 2 players instead of 4, so you're sharing the sweeping duties even more. Strategy is different to some extent, and it's maybe a busier game because you got to jump up after you throw and do some sweeping, and so it's entirely different game.
So, normal curling, you have a team of 4 and 8 rocks thrown. Each curler on a team throws 2 rocks. In mixed doubles, there are 5 rocks thrown. One curler will throw the first and the last rock of each end, and the other curler will throw the middle 3. They also set up 2 rocks at the target end, each end, depending on who has the last rock and who doesn't. I don't know what you call. I still don't know what you call the team without the last rock. The team with the last rock we call the hammer.
Yeah, basically you got the hammer, you got the last rock, or you don't have the hammer, don't have the last rock.
I'm just saying.
Yep. No,
we could have the hammer and the sickle. What do you think?
Ooh. Have to go write the Bible all over again for curling. What you're watching here is when they were sliding out without the stone. They're warming up. It gives you a chance to loosen up the muscles, and also gives you a chance to feel the ice, to maybe how quick or slow it is, to how hard to throw stones.
Yeah, and right here they're putting the rocks into position. Feldman will be throwing. We'll have the hammer. They'll have the last rock, so they're positioning their rock right behind the button, the middle of the house. And Dana and Kevin have theirs as a guard outside.
And just for those you are not familiar with normal curling, normal 4-person team curling does not set the stones up like you saw in the far house, the far end. The house begins just as you're seeing right now with nothing in it.
So this is Dana with the first rock of the game.
Kevin, her teammate's ready to sweep. There's an option that Kevin could stand at the other end and show her where to shoot. But most experienced players kind of know where to shoot for the rock to end up.
And off we go.
Kevin likes to wear his bright orange. You can never miss him on the ice.
He's afraid of getting shot.
Yeah.
You gotta have the hunter orange when you're playing curling. This looks like a nice shot. Oh, it's gonna come up a little short. Oh, man, just a foot further, and that would have been perfect.
But some shots are set up that you want to leave it a little short so you can bump it up next time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's a good shot. It's a totally useful shot for next time.
Definitely. So have you ever went to Wine Country Curling Club?
No, I've been to a club close to it. Had a summer spiel, but it wasn't Wine Country Club itself.
Okay, and here is Katie with her first stone, and Brian's on it. Mixed doubles is really, really difficult from a conditioning perspective.
Yeah, because you're probably sweeping more than you would on a normal team. You're always sweeping alone. Well, almost always. You may have 2, but more than likely you're sweeping alone. So you feel like you got to work harder than when you have a teammate sweeping with you, which you usually do when you're sweeping 4-person team. And this is typical mixed doubles. The rocks all go to the middle, and then eventually you got just a little tap. Oh, the other thing is you can't hit any rock out until, what is it, the 5th stone in?
Third stone.
Or third stone.
No. Excuse me. The 4th stone, you're allowed to hit something out.
Okay.
But it's 3 stones. The first 3 stones can't hit any rock that's in play at all out.
But you can hit it as long as you don't hit it out of play.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right, but you can't. But unlike in regular curling, where they have a 5 rock rule, even if it's in the house, you're not allowed to hit it out.
Right. Yeah. So they what they're doing is encouraging lots of rocks in play, which makes it more interesting for those of you watching it, and actually for those playing it as well.
An absolute
Oh, come on, sneak in there.
Oh, there we go. There we
it
go.
is.
That's a nice one.
Okay, so that
Good
red,
shot, Kevin.
that red that was just thrown, you can see is closer to the center of the bullseye, which is the house, than the yellow. So right now, red is sitting 1 point.
Red is sitting 1 point. But that rock's peeking out just a little bit.
Yep, they can come in, they can curl in, and just kind of tap it. That's probably what they're doing. So they decided on the shot together at the far end. Now they come down to set up the rock and shoot it and sweep it down.
Hello, everyone. This is Sarah here. We had a little technical difficulties while recording, so I have about 4 minutes where we got absolutely nothing of what Jeff said. So you'll have to hear my voice for the next 4 minutes. So here's Brian. Katie's already on it. Brian here's going to try to hit that red in the back, but looks like it might be a little wide. Oh, that's too bad. Push the red in a little bit behind the guard. So I think what Kevin's looking to do here, and he's sort of pointing in the 4-foot. Looks like he's going to try to draw in front of his red, sort of guard it a little bit. Kevin, always dapper. Dana, always well coiffed. We're very stylish in curling, as you can see. You can see from the other sheets as well. We've got a lot of style. We wear our sunglasses in the day to protect our eyes from harmful UV radiation. So here's Kevin's shot. Dan is following along. Kevin's taking a look at the line. Okay, both of them are going now. Sweeping helps the rock go a little further and keeps it from curling so much. So if you think it's a little bit slow, you can sweep and try to drag it a little further. And that's a great shot right there. That is a great shot. Kevin and Dana are now sitting 2 in that blue 4-foot circle. But they've opened up a little bit of a chance for Feldman here, because Team Feldman can see that red rock on the outside, and they might be able to hit them both out. It's always nice. It's always nice when both of the teammates are back. You know, have a little conversation, not just hear yourself think. That's definitely a takeout weight, even if it's not the heaviest takeout weight. Katie's on it. She's trying to get it around that guard. Is she going to make it? Oh, that is so close, but it went by. Wow, that's a great shot. That's a great shot. Yellow's at least sitting 1. Sitting 1. The red is the second shot. So with that, Yellow's now scoring. In a couple moments, Jeff will be back with us. But we still have a couple seconds here to see Team Rutherford and Watson sort of line up the shot they're going to make. It looks like they might try for the double. All right, here we go. Let's welcome Jeff back, and he will have no idea he was gone.
And in case you're wondering, you see him slide quite a ways with a stone. Well, that you can slide as far as you want, but you've got to let go of the stone by that first heavy blue line right now on the far left of the screen. But you got to let go of the stone by then. If you don't, it's this stone is considered. You got to penalize. It's removed. You've touched it. You've influenced outside the area.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah, crossing the blue line, icing.
Personal foul, illegal use of Teflon. So they're trying to come around, but
that didn't work.
They're already on the guard.
Yeah, so they either threw it way too light or they threw it too far inside of the original target, so it just curled too far.
So I think we're at the let's see.
Brian's got another one there, huh?
Yep. I didn't really see what the call was there.
They're just making up as they go.
But I imagine they'll try to bump up that one yellow that's at the top of the 4 foot. When I say top of the 4 foot, the inner ring is 4 feet in diameter. The ring outside of that is 8 feet in diameter. The ring on the very outside is 12 feet in diameter. And so we call that middle blue ring the 4 foot.
Okay, she's the only one sweeping, so they're not panicking yet. He's kind of looking at the line.
That looks nice.
Getting by the front yellow guard and little tap here.
Oh, you know what?
Is it enough?
I think it's enough. That's close.
Yeah, 2 more rocks to come, so maybe 3. Who's got the hammer?
They have the hammer, so 2 more rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin's the only curler in our club. Has to be careful not to get the broom heads that have the orange. It's amazing when you see a skip with like a broom head that has a black head. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, most of us are black pants out there, and then you get the black head. So what she's talking about, see how he's laying the broom down? And so the person at the other end would sees the broom, but if the broom's hidden behind the legs, you can't see it. So normal 4-person play, that like when Kevin was down there holding the broom, pointing out where to target, he would stay there as the skip. And then you'd have 1 shooter and 2 sweepers. But with only 2 people per team, you want the sweeper available, so the skip, who would normally be holding the broom, comes down and sweeps.
Well, he looks like he's going back to give her a target.
And some people in a really particular tough shot, may want to be precise, because you probably do shoot more precise if you have something to look at.
But I can tell you from personal experience, it's a little lonely back there. Especially when you have to make the last shot. A lot of thinking. Thinking's never good.
No, less you think, the better.
That's life lessons right there.
Yeah, follow your instincts. And because Kevin, they stayed on there, hold the broom, there's no sweepers, so they're just letting this go. Oh, he's going for the tap, kiss. Oh, because they were trying to just kiss the outside of the yellow, and that would push that red in closer.
So close.
Now they're talking angles and how heavy to throw it and where to throw it. They made up their mind pretty quick. That was good.
Yeah, don't like those slower downers, apparently. That's what we're calling them now. Slower downers.
People like to think about it.
That's a technical term.
That's it.
It's a curling term, yeah. Made by Canadians. That's how you know it's real.
Yeah, you'll see him flip the rock up and clean it. There is some debris on the ice. Sometimes it's just human hair. Sometimes it's a felt or something, or string off the clothes. The rubber grippers do kind of break up a little, have little chunks, and debris will get under the rock, which will drastically destroy the path of the rock. So you give it a little clean.
Okay, so here's the last rock at the first end. It's hard to tell the line so far,
Yeah.
but actually it looks pretty good.
Got to curl a little bit more here.
If they tap that in just a little bit, they'll get 3.
She light.
Oh,
Oh.
a little bit light.
So you think it's too yellow?
I think it's too yellow, but we'll see if they move it or they measure.
So you eyeball it the best you can, and if there's any doubt, we do have a measuring device that can come out and determine.
What I call the doodad, the giant metal doodad.
You're just so technical, Sarah.
That's what they pay me for.
Oh, come on, guys. Make up your mind. Don't want to stand too long. Right? Here it is. Okay.
Get the Jeopardy theme song going on here.
The referee for the day, Corey, is anticipating a measurement, so he stands to the back. Oh, they don't need him.
They've decided. All right.
That was maybe Corey hinting, let's speed it along, kids.
Okay. Well, at the end of 1, Team Feldman is up 2-0. And now, a message from Evergreen Curling Club. I believe that children are our future, and we should teach them well and let them lead, or skip the way. Hi, I'm Sarah Maywalt. Did you know that Evergreen Curling Club has one of the 10 largest juniors programs in the United States? And that takes more than just some volunteer hours. It takes equipment, uniforms, pizza. Don't underestimate the pizza. And that's not even including travel. 2 of our girls will be competing in the under-18 nationals in Wisconsin this year, and all those costs add up. Anyone with kids in sports can relate. Evergreen Curling Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we are dedicated to giving all of our juniors the chance to pursue their curling dreams. And to do so, we're raising money by selling these totally rad shirts. They say, "Rock My World," have this nice, gigantic curling rock behind it. Sort of like Godzilla, a curling Godzilla coming to attack Portland. Why not stop on by and pick up a shirt or 2 for you or a curling-loving friend? Or you can visit our website at evergreencurling.org for more ways to help our juniors. As the kids say, it's totes on fleek. Am I doing it? Am I dabbing? Did I dab right? And we're back. When we're actually recording this, I just pause a little and then say, "And we're back," which is a lot funnier to us than it would be to you.
And you should see your hand actions too. They're wonderful.
It's very Barker's beauties.
So once again, the mixed doubles have you setting up 2 rocks at the end, and who scored determines who chooses what to put what color rock where. Didn't say that very well. You may explain that.
It gets a little complicated, but for the most part, the team that scores will be throwing first, the end after. And sort of the classic play, the classic first rock in mixed doubles is to try to go around the guard and sit in front of the rock in the back of the blue circle there. This was a little heavy. It's going to slide by.
Now you see Kevin, the opponent, actually gets to sweep the opponent's rock there. Kevin throws red, but he was able to sweep the yellow. Once it crosses what we call the T line, which is the halfway, the line bisecting the center of the circle. And once it gets there, your opponent is allowed to help it go further out.
Yes.
But otherwise, your opponent can never sweep your rock.
But here's an absolute fact. You can scream at the rock whenever you want. Doesn't matter. I mean, everybody will hate you, and I can attest to that. But you can do it. Totally within the rules.
And you know you're a true curler when the rock screams back.
It's true. So Dana is taking the same line, hoping to get some information from Katie's shot. Oh, it looks a little light.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, that Katie's shot there was the first shot in this direction during the game, and the ice will behave a little differently, maybe just minor. And so you take a look. Okay, when we're going the other way, that rock curled 3 feet. Well, here it's only curling 2.5 feet.
Mm-hmm. It could be a little faster going from one end of the sheet to the other.
And that got a lot. Sometimes that depends on how many rocks have gone down that side, one particular side of the sheet. That wears the ice down a little more and affects the speed and the curl.
It's true. That's the science fact from Jeff Tomlinson. Where you're learning science today here on Portland Curling.
And see how long he held on to that. He was right at the line. Another 8 inches, he would have been illegal, and he would have pulled the rock out. And you police yourself. So he's come up the other side because Dana's red is kind of blocking the right side.
It's not going to curl. It's not going to curl enough, I don't think. Oh.
So the weight was good, because if it had curled onto the center point, it would have bumped the red that much. Been perfect. So
yeah.
We're just not curling laterally here down as much as we did going the other direction. Yet, anyways.
Yeah, and Brian and Katie Feldman are a little heavy on the return to the home side of the ice. A little heavy. That's something you don't know. It's amazing. Like, you forget, even though I've only started like a year and a half ago, you forget that other people don't know what these words mean. When I say a rock is heavy, that means it has too much speed. It's going to go past where it wants to be. Not that it's fat. We are not going to fat shame these rocks, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll just make fun of the sweepers. I've been playing the game forever, but it's still funny watching people sweep.
Oh man, it is hilarious, isn't it? The best thing is, like, it looks so ridiculous, but in reality, it's so hard.
It's a great workout.
Oh man. I came from bowling, and bowling, not so much of a cardio workout. I'll just let you know. Your one arm gets really strong, though. I will say that. It gets ripped. My right arm was tore up. I think that's what the kids say, and then they dab or something. So here we go. Brian with his second rock. Right now, red is sitting 1, and they're pretty well guarded.
So you may be trying to bump something out of the way with this one.
Yeah, this looks like a takeout. This one's got purpose.
Oh, can't see. Get out of the way. Oh, almost.
Oh, wow.
If that rock, he just had an angle on that a few degrees different. When he hit the red into the forefoot, he would have hit the other red and pumped both reds out. So he was just a matter of a few degrees off the first rock to get both red out.
Yeah.
Well, that's still a dangerous rock. The red that's at the top of the house there can be easily tapped in. Not easily, but it's not an impossible shot.
So right now, red is only sitting 1 because that yellow at the top of the house, in front of the house there on the red, is just slightly inside of the red that's off to the side. It looks like Kevin's going to try to take that yellow out of the way, though.
Yeah, I guess it's a dangerous rock. The yellow can use it to tap it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a touchy shot on Kevin, because if he does a little wrong, he'll bump the yellow right onto his middle red and leave it guarded. But
that's what we call a worst case Ontario.
Don't be picking on those Ontario people. I'm Ontario born.
You're Ontario born? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
That's all right. It's better than Quebec.
Every country has its Alabama.
Well, they're not touching it because they want it to curl.
Yeah, they're not
Oh, he's
they're
just
not doing
going.
a whole lot with this. This wasn't
You know, he might have just called to guard it.
yeah.
With that weight, he just wanted to prevent them from bumping it. So now yellow has to draw around.
He may have called an audible. I may not have understood what he was trying to say with his curling body language. I don't know.
Kevin prefers the draw over the takeout anyway, so if there's an option, he'll go with the lighter route generally. But he's a smart skip. He'll choose the correct shot majority of the time.
You know, when I play, I just want, when the skip's deciding, I just like, pick the shot I'm going to miss. Just do it. Whichever one, and I'll miss it. Guaranteed. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, when Sarah's asked, do you think you're going to miss this? Well, I'm not sure. And I asked, well, be more positive. And she goes, okay, I'm sure I'm going to miss it.
Definitely. This is, I'm not really sure. Well, it looks like it's just a straight draw in.
Yeah, that was the call.
And you know what?
Oh, there it comes.
It's coming in. That's
Come on.
not bad.
No,
That's pretty good.
Oh, I hit the tee line. That's perfect.
Wow. Nice shot.
Yeah, the
Nice
rock
shot, Brian.
the line that ended up on is called the tee line. So.
Yes. That is the tee line.
I don't know. Did you see Kevin's call or not?
I didn't.
Oh, guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. We'll be surprised.
Oh.
See, that's what I get for not taking my Ritalin before I do a broadcast. Good thing I have this cocaine next to me. Vic, eat your heart out.
Inside joke.
Well, inside joke for everyone in Canada. For the entire country of Canada. Looks like he's just going to try to come down onto that rock, but it looks like they're inside.
We're going to chip something that he didn't want to chip. Oh, and that opens up the hole for him for the yellow to be raised here too. Or they might just guard it up and prevent Kevin from having any relatively easy shot.
One thing is, if you don't have the last rock, you're at a disadvantage. So it's often wise to try to protect your rocks if they're sitting in a good position, rather than try to go for more and potentially open yourself up.
The hammer, which is another name for the last rock, is the only rock that's played that does not have an opponent's rock after it. So all of the rocks you consider both offensively and defensively, except the last rock. It's strictly an offensive rock.
Mm-hmm.
And when you score, you give up the benefit of the hammer
Yes.
on the next end.
Well, in mixed doubles...
mixed double there is a choice, yeah, but regular curling there isn't.
Actually, you know, in mixed doubles, if you happen to blank, if that's a thing, the choice goes to the other team.
It does flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've only played it 3-4 times, so some of those particulars Sarah's up on more than I am.
I'll tell you, I don't know why I know that, because I've never seen a blank in mixed doubles.
It'd be rare, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, Kevin's got something fancy. If you're a billiard player, you're a pool player, the angles that you have to call and create are very similar to curling. A little heavier things that you're hitting, but and they don't roll, but they slide quite nicely.
So we had last year they had an event, a fundraising for the juniors, and they set up all sort of trick shots, and the last one was what they called the Rutherford raise. Now, I thought that was a missed opportunity, because I would have called it the Rutherford B raise, like our president. But
That's good.
But apparently, I was voted down.
Isn't one of the best known presidents, so would have been lost.
That's true. Might have been. I don't know. Somebody would have enjoyed it.
That's right.
Even if it was only me.
Okay, this can be a good shot. One thing, there's no real harm done here. If he misfires and knocks his own out, there's only one yellow in the house. Sometimes you'll take a chancy shot, long raise, and you go, oh boy, if I hit it right, great, I'll get rewarded. But if I hit it wrong, I'll give the other team more points than what they're sitting with right now. But it's just a game. Shoot it.
No, there's nothing better in the game than staring down a really dumb shot that you're probably not going to make. It's exhilarating. But Kevin and Dana, they are good enough to make these shots. So here's the last rock of the second end.
Got to put a little extra muscle on it, a little extra weight, so it's a heavy rock.
Put a little pepper on it. Oh, Kevin's going to town. Oh, this is going to be close.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at that.
Almost.
Once again, just a matter of a few degrees difference, and that red would have found the yellow.
Well, it looks like Team Feldman is going to get another one. So at the end of two ends, it is Team Feldman 3, Team Watson and Rutherford 0. And now we're head down to the third end. So 3-0. Is that tough in an 8-end game to come back from? Is that a bad start?
Not in mixed doubles. Mixed doubles usually the 1 point end that we just saw there. Multiple point ends are scored frequently in this game, and you've seen the number of rocks. Reds had a fair number of rocks in play, just a little off, and so no, 3 points in mixed doubles is nothing. Actually, 3 points in normal curling with the 5 rock rule they have really is nothing to worry about.
So here we have a little groundskeeping from Team Feldman, picking up a little. I think the technical term is schmutz from the ice. That's what they say in New York.
Yeah.
Oi, look at all the schmutz. Oi, the ice is full of schmutz.
And the sweeping nowadays is primarily to get the rock to go a little further and affect the curl. But in the good old days, when you're playing outdoors, you had the schmutz was snow and leaves and twigs, and you had straw brooms that would sweep that stuff away.
This rock is looking pretty good. Maybe a little deep.
Yep, the pocket.
Nice shot.
Pocket's still there to come down to.
That's true.
As long as you're behind the tee line, there's something to go to. But the first several rocks and mixed doubles and even normal curling are just kind of set-up stones. Setting it up, see if you get a break, and then after a few rocks, see how those rocks are sitting, and you might alter your strategy a little bit.
No, absolutely. And I mean, any rock you throw into the house could score. But to be quite honest, if the 1 or the 2 stone ends up counting, the other team has done something wrong. Oh, Kevin's going to town already.
There he goes. He's working it.
Work it, Kevin. Work it. Hold on. Got to get a snap at that.
Oh, we're clipping again. See if that just gotten by, that would have ended up probably in the 4-foot.
Well, I mean, what's nice about this is that it does they do have the hammer, so that opens it up a little bit. It gives them an in. Because that yellow rock is out counting the red, so either they have to beat it or remove it.
And for those you're confused, the rock's only eligible to score if it's within that 12-foot target house. You're in play if you're within the rectangle, the big blue line, the black line, and the sidelines. But you can only be eligible for points if you're within the 12-foot house. And then you got to be closer to your opponents.
So here's Brian's first stone.
As you can see, Brian's left-handed. We do allow lefties to play the game.
That's true. That's true. We were advised against it, but we grudgingly allowed it. This looks like, yeah, that looks like they were just going to guard it.
Yeah, they wanted to replace the guard that Dana pushed away in order to help protect that rock in the middle.
So Kevin's looking at the angles right here, trying to see what they can do with this next rock. It looks like they're gonna try a long double.
Yeah, to get that angle right, his shooter, the rock that he's throwing, when it hits that front yellow, is probably going to stay there. It's not going to roll very far, so it'll end up being a guard for what ends up here.
Mm-hmm.
So if Kevin makes a proper shot, hits both yellow out, it's great. He'll be guarding his own red. But if he misfires and hits his own red out, his shooter will now be guarding 2 yellow. So this is another shot that there's a good and bad result.
It is fraught with peril. Why was that funny? Fraught with peril. Yeah, I use weird words. Curling, if you made a Venn diagram of nerd and jock, curling would be in the center. It's like the Dungeons and Dragons of sport.
Okay, this is good. He's just clearing it out.
Yep.
No harm done, and now what he's hoping, the other team, Feldman's, will probably try to replace it, put up a protection for their yellow. But if they miss a little bit, then Kevin will have a path. But this is where it may get a little boring. Feldman's are just, we could go the rest of the end this way. Put the guard up, chip it out. Put the guard up, chip it out. You're hoping for a miss so you can do the second move.
I like how their jerseys are wine colored. If they're going to be from wine country, they should be wine colored.
You think somebody did that on purpose?
I hope so. So, curling can be a very soothing game to watch. It's going to creep into the house a bit.
So you may say, hey, we got 2 yellows close now. Now they're only sitting 1 yellow and point-wise, but it's really close. You can tap it, but it also makes Kevin's double takeout easier.
Yeah.
In this circumstance where I was talking about the red shot that he would shoot would hit the rock and stay up front as a guard is not as big a factor here. If he comes in here and blasts every rock away but leaves the shooter, that's not bad. Because the shooter can hit the nose and no longer be a guard. It can be used by him to raise it up. And they're measuring down to the 0.5 millimeter where they want to hit it.
Yeah. Because when you slide a rock 150 feet, those are your tolerances.
That's
0.5
right.
millimeter.
That's right.
You know, 85 nanometers right there. Oh, heck. Femtometers. We're going to get down there. Picometers.
Go for it.
Atometers. Sorry, I'm getting way too nerd right now.
Yep.
I'm going to dial it back. Football! Oh! Okay, there we're back. Line looks pretty good from what I can see.
Since the precision was needed, Dana stayed down there to watch. Up. Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's almost a triple, but in the best way.
Yeah, in the best way, because like I say, he cleared out all the back. Luckily, the back red one's hanging in there. That may come in handy. Keep track of that. That little dirty one on the back of the corner there, you might ignore, but it could easily be the second, third point of the end for Kevin if the Feldmans miss something.
Yeah, and then the best thing is that their shot rock is a little covered. But he is a lefty. He has a better view of that red rock than us non-sinister people would have. Again, I'm getting too nerdy. Way too nerdy. Way too nerdy.
Dial it back, Sarah. Dial it back.
Good chi in, bad chi out. Good chi in, bad chi out. So I think the shot here is just to try to draw behind the guard. Well, yeah, I can't say a whole lot nice about that shot.
Yeah, not sure if he's going for the pure draw or might have been trying to corner freeze, just lean up against the red one and make it tough to get completely out.
Yeah.
And now Kevin can throw a slightly faster, heavier stone than what the yellow was throwing and tap the yellow out.
Yeah, and if he gets the right roll, he'll go right behind his red and behind the yellow guard. Yeah, but I can't knock anybody for being a few feet too heavy. I've thrown some guards through the house. So. Kevin, all alone. So quiet. So quiet.
The crowd is holding its breath.
I think he's a little wide. No. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not too bad.
Probably would have liked the roll the other way, but this works for him.
I would say we're down to skip stones, but there's no real skips in mixed doubles.
It's a team effort.
Well, it's always a team effort.
Well, some skips are dominant.
Well, then they could just throw their last two stones and see how well they do.
No, in strategy decisions.
I know.
No.
I know. Like a general on the battlefield.
Oh, Marty.
I actually got permission to use that.
Oh, really?
For this, and
okay.
I probably will put it up front somewhere.
All right.
So you've already seen it, and you already know what I'm talking about, but Jeff doesn't. But he knows what I'm talking about, but he doesn't know that you know what I'm talking about. Point is, this is a shot. He's trying to draw it in and get it some cover, either to rest next to a red or get behind something.
Yeah, they're going for it all here to try to hide behind the red. They could have elected to hit one red out to reduce the number of reds in there and then hope Kevin misses. We're here, they went for it, and they're scoring right now, but they're wide open.
Well, at the very least, they're somewhat in front of that red rock that's on the edge of the white.
Yeah, they could jam it. Meaning if Gana throws her red rock and it hits the yellow at such an angle at a jam, it runs into the red one behind it, then red doesn't score as much.
But all they have to do is hit the yellow out and stay around, and they'll have 4 here. If this is the last rock at the end, and I believe it is.
Yeah, Dan is throwing, so.
That's what we need. I need a crew. I need a crew with all the graphics and the blinking rocks on the bottom so that I can keep track of it. Where's the budget? Where's the budget?
I was going to say, you know, money talks.
That's true. And this is the last rock of the third end. Dana Watson throwing.
Chance to go up big time here, 4 points.
Well,
everybody's,
Kevin's not calling anyone on to sweep, but there's no one.
Nobody to sweep. And just enough to
get it out. But she loses the shooter. So Rutherford and Watson comes all the way back, scores 3, and at the end of 3 ends, the score is now Watson-Rutherford 3, Team Feldman 3. And now for another message from Evergreen Curling Club. Is your group or organization looking for a unique local experience? Are you throwing a party that just begs for something new and exciting? Well, why not curling? When we're not competing, we open up our club to all sorts of groups. You can rent out our club for birthday parties, corporate events, club or church outings, and just about any occasion that you can think of. We provide the equipment and instruction. You provide the sense of adventure. Who knows? You might get hooked. And even if you don't, we do have a bar. If you're interested, contact our event staff at events@evergreencurling.com. That's events@evergreencurling.com. And we're back with the graceful hand motion in front of the screen that we're watching right now.
I'm sure you all felt the hand waving the air.
I'm very good at breaking wind. I've been told I'm good at that. I'm exceptional.
Okay, so this time the Rutherford team scored. So they have they're throwing first rocks.
I was really scared for a minute. I didn't see that moving.
Oh, no.
Right? And talking shop here, we are actually recording on my computer right now, and an earlier testing was in front, and I was afraid we just lost the last half hour. At any rate, here's Dana Watson's first stone of the fourth end.
She's giving it a good look there. And Kevin's getting some exercise.
I hear he runs like 10 miles and then goes curling.
Saturday, the report was that he ran 6 hours, came to the club for a help out in a corporate rental event, curled his mixed doubles, and then he subbed for me Sunday night because I was out of town bonspieling. So yes, he's been known to run.
Run for 6 hours?
Yep, he does 100 milers.
100 milers.
That's not the 6 hour one, but he does the super marathons, whatever they call them.
Wow, makes those people with that 26.2 sticker look pretty
wimpy, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, I have a friend who actually broke 3 hours in a marathon.
Oh, very
and I
good.
think if you break 3 hours in a marathon, you get to put a sticker on your car. If you only broke 5 hours, leave the sticker off. You just sort of walked it.
Hey, my daughter does marathons. She's done at least a half dozen in her life, which isn't a lot compared to people like Kevin. But yeah, she hasn't broken 3 hours yet, but close.
But that's not enough. That's not. She hasn't broke 3 hours. Like
Right.
she's close. She's come close to 2 something.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's it. My friend only just got over that line, but that's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, it's your body's got to be good, but your mind's got to want it too.
Well, for me, my lungs, nah.
It's all that schmutz you deal with.
On the ground, gasping after the first mile. And here's Kevin's first stone.
Yep. You only watched for a moment there, and he jumped up. Is going to help.
I think he will get around. I think he's going to get around.
Boy, I don't know about your call there.
That's too bad. Well, I don't see you going out on a limb there, Tomlinson.
I wait.
Limb there, Tomlinson.
I wait. I wait.
You put the limb in Tomlinson.
There you go.
That's what they pay me the big bucks for. And now let's pause for station identification. You're watching Portland Curling on whatever station this is. And now back to the match.
There's a good promo. The Ever station this really appreciates that.
So I think Brian's going to try to take the same path in. Is he going to get by the red?
Yeah, hanging wide.
Get by the red.
Just a little tick.
Ooh.
But still 2 yellow in the house.
And it gets itself right behind that guard. So it actually ends up being a really good shot.
You know, you're waving your hands at the break. Reminds me, I want to point to the screen here and show paths, but obviously the listeners can't see the point. So.
Well, I'm working on that.
Yeah, okay,
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
It's not simple, but maybe one day we can get a telestrator thing going. Oh man!
Right, if you can do that on radio, you'll be a millionaire.
Well, they're gonna see the video. You know that, right? There's gonna be video.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so they'd see it.
Yep.
That's my point.
You thought quite a while there.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin's coming same path. Gonna try to get down to that yellow in the center. The line looks good, but maybe a touch heavy.
A little hot. Now they're just going to protect it. But they're just protecting one. It's always like, protect one and then hope for the hammer you can get a 2-second point out of it.
Yep. Of course, you see Feldman cleaning the stone, getting the schmutz off the stone. Of course, I was always taught to do it with my bare hand. That's the only way the genie comes out of the rock. He's wide on this one. Well, if he's just trying to throw a guard, but that's coming in really heavy for a guard.
Yeah, he was way too hot for that.
Well, heads up.
But it's a mess now. Kevin's got a tough path in. So now you're contemplating, hey, how can I raise a red in? The alternative thought is, how can I create an opening that'll allow me to still come in and find the blue 4 foot later on? So
Well, the nice thing about trying to bump up that rock is you may kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, you'll create, your shooter's got to hit on the outside, so it'll go away and leave the hole. The ice is curling so much that if you get by that front yellow, it will find the 4 foot, if you got the right weight.
That's what my doctor says.
There we go. We're down to that. What meter again?
The atometer.
Atometer.
Gotta get the digital caliper out.
Yeah.
You know, sundial,
We
Astrolab.
We got a couple of curlers in the club that almost every shot they'll do that. Measure right down to nothing.
Most of the time when I'm curling, I'll actually just call the takeout and then hope.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the shooter sometimes, well, where do you want me to hit it on the rock? Just hit the broom and throw the weight. We'll worry about it down here. That's one thing I'll point out here. Watch when Kevin lets go. He probably jumps up and follows the stone. When you're playing a 4-man team, you have 2 sweepers out there, so you don't have to jump up and chase the stone. He jumps up to be ready to sweep, but it looks like we're wide and he doesn't need sweeping. Oh, you got by that? Okay.
Well, no.
Double chip.
Almost.
Set something up. There's a chance there.
Well, I mean, it's more open now, but it's going to be hard to raise that rock.
But yellow can come in here and sit practically on the button sit too, and be almost impossible to get out.
Yeah. Only in Canada would somebody say, hey, I like this ice, but it's not slippery enough. Let's strap some Teflon onto our feet. But I'll tell you something, it is amazing fun to slide up and down the ice. Amazing fun. I wish I had a video of Jeff's slide to show you. It's a work of art. It's like he's Superman just floating above the ice. It's like a miracle.
Oh, another chip.
Just missed 2. You kind of think that they could have
Swept that.
Yeah, but maybe it would have been too deep. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you could have come in and chipped there. By sweeping, you keep the speed up, and that keeps it straighter.
Yeah. You sort of delay the curl a bit.
And Kevin can still get in here. Or Dana.
Yeah.
Is it Dana's rock? Probably.
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You've seen these rocks really start to go sideways as they slow down. So you can get by those front 2 yellows and find that 1 foot button.
And the worst part about Brian's shot there was that he moved that yellow over a bit, because now it's much more open than it was before. Not saying it was a horrible shot, Brian. I apologize.
It was a miss.
It was a miss. But for me that would have been a 50%.
and like anything, there's a good miss and a bad miss.
That's true.
Quarterback throws a pass. The good is a catch. The bad is an interception. But the so-so is a drop ball.
Well, I've had a few pick sixes in my curling career already.
That's right. The really bad is the interception for the pick six. Yes, yeah.
The worst is the interception on your goal line for the pick six. Had a few of those. Yeah. Oh, you were going to get 3. Now your opponent has 2. Oh,
Well, then we'll go one worse. The quarterback tries to tackle the guy who intercepted the ball, and he gets injured for the season.
well, that hasn't happened to me yet.
But enough of this football
here's-
stuff. Back to the real sport.
Here's Danas.
Oh,
Here's Rutherford.
looks
and
hot.
Tomlinson. Yes, that's deep.
Way too hot. Well, it's almost like she was looking to chip that out. Ooh,
Yeah.
that would have been a cool shot.
That would have been a cool shot, but that is tough.
Terribly precise. What I'm talking about is she came down and hit that, just chipped that yellow out that was on the 4-foot out, and they'd sit 2.
Might even, well,
The shooter,
probably
shooter
do.
probably would have gone out. Checking those angles and the caroms and transfer of energy. And
Coefficient of friction.
that's big time curling. Weight transfer when you slide.
Inelastic collisions.
Ooh.
Bremsstrahlung. Schwarzschild radii, if you will. Lagrange points. Parsecs.
Do you use that in your stand-up routine?
Never. No one likes science jokes. No one likes science jokes. So that my astronomy degree is going to literally no use. Here's the final storm of the 4th end.
And it's way out there again.
Yeah, they need pretty much, I think, full. They need at least half 4 foot to get to. That's too bad. But they do score 1. And so at the halfway point of the MOPAC Mixed Doubles Curling Championship here in Portland, Oregon, we have Watson and Rutherford 3 and Team Feldman 4. So they're getting set up here.
They get a couple minute break here, so that's a little bit longer delay. It's halfway through the game, 4th end. They're allowed a slight breathing point there.
They're not timing it, so they don't actually get a break. They get whatever break they want at any time. Here's Katie's first shot. A little outside, it looks.
Yeah, that rock isn't going to do much for you. It's so far back. And
You know, it's funny when I watch the events, like some of the high-powered events. A lot of the houses seem to have like a slow back end. And I wonder if that's by design.
a slow back in. Not sure what you mean.
Well, it seems to really dig in just about when it hits the tee line.
Oh, okay. Well, right. Yeah, as slower it's going, if they got decent rotation on it, the more it'll curl. I love the ones that almost pivot around the pivot point.
And here's Dennis, first rock, taking the same path again.
Okay, so I don't need to take it too deep. You leave it there. You can tap it up.
Yeah, in normal curling, that would be actually a pretty dangerous rock right there because the double would be possible, but they still have one more stone before they can take any rocks out. So it's protected for now.
But they would still be allowed to tap it back a little farther and say roll to the middle. And as long as they leave the rock they tapped in play,
Certainly.
then it's legit.
Certainly, but it's hard. But it's hard to get that sort of weight control for one, but for two, I don't know. Maybe people are just way better at curling than I am. That's probably true. So here's Brian's first stone. He's trying to get around that guard, I believe.
Oh, got
And
guard.
he did. Nice shot. Wow, that's a beauty. Look at that.
There it is. But the button is still exposed. Kevin puts it right on the button. It's nothing you can do about it. It's got backing. You can't force it out. You could eventually get to it maybe with 2 takeouts, but or you come in from the side. You use that red off to the side, angle it out rather than hit it straight out.
Kevin removing his gripper there, exposing the super slippery Teflon. It's not just good for cooking on, it's also good for curling.
But it is a soft Teflon, so it doesn't scratch the ice.
That's true. You don't, well, unless you fall. Not that I know.
Well, that's your skull that's hurting the ice, not the Teflon.
No, the edge of the Teflon. Trust me. Scratched a lot of ice.
Is he going to hit the red? No.
Ooh.
Surprised they didn't try to draw the button on that.
Well, they hadn't had much luck doing that.
No.
I think at this point, they've gotten a lot of the scoring they've been able to do has been mostly when it's opened up.
Yeah, and he's got the hammer, so the idea is you try to open up the middle so you can find your way for that last rock to either at least score 1, preferably more. But things are cluttered up. The tougher the shot is to get into it.
So I think they're going to throw something out in front to guard it.
Yep, I think that's what I saw.
And it looks like it's got to move in a little bit.
Still coming.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
There may be a little room to get in.
You can blast that out. You can blast both the yellow and red and shooter gun onto the top red will remain. Got to go through the hole. Hit a field goal.
Yep, through the uprights. Just got to hit a home run. Hat trick. 3-point play.
Go ahead. Come on, you got more, don't you?
I don't know. Well, that's a wicked googly. How about that?
We'll be able to throw the octopi on the ice after this.
7-10 split.
A little more weight. Oh, he wants to chase it.
Yeah. Dan is telling no sweep.
Doesn't sound good.
Is it going to get
Chip?
round?
No.
Not quite.
So
And they try to collect the rocks before they go and ruin everybody else's game.
I was up in Seattle curling this weekend, and they have actually wood barriers between the sheets, so when the rocks bounce like that, they don't go onto the other sheets. But they do bounce back into your field of play and may hit your own rocks.
Yeah, they would have that. You should see him wince. Okay, the Team Feldman is going to put a little bit more protection on this. bit. Not quite as good as the last guard.
Looks like he still has a shot at it here. More exposed. He might throw the takeout and hit it on the nose. He's got to throw it fast because the hole's small enough there that you can't have the slow-moving, big arcing path. You got to throw it faster to have it run straight and make it through the hole.
And I'm trying so hard not to say what I'm thinking right now. And
I tried to set you up.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know, and you can see me wince. Every comedian's instinct. All right, here
There
comes.
it is.
This looks
There it
pretty
is.
good.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, and
Kevin.
down goes Frazier.
He was so excited there.
Yeah, but now he's sitting right on the pin.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Scoring one. That's a beauty.
That's pretty.
It's going to be hard to get out. Kevin is okay.
Once again, referring to this last weekend, we had a game. Our two sweepers pounding away on it, and one guy lost his balance. It's a normal four-person game, so you have two sweepers. And one guy lost his balance and started falling over and almost took out, checked the other sweeper. It was great.
Hip check and a beaut.
Yeah.
Well, I admire when somebody can fall and also miss all the stones.
Yes.
It's tough. There's a
good
lot of
trick.
stones there.
Yep.
So Team Feldman, they're going to throw with their last rock. It looks like a guard. They're just going to try to escape this and only giving up one, which is actually a really good strategy. If you don't have the hammer and you can't score one, it's best to try to cut your opponent down as much as possible. This one looks like it's got a bit better line. A little sweep just to finesse it in. That's a nice stone.
If Kevin's going to leave this alone and take a chance. You could do some harm. You hit it just wrong. You have to hit it really wrong just to only hit out your red and leave the yellow. If you hit it just right, you might score 3.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
He's going for it. He's a curler.
So just in case you're scoring at home, prudence means that you're not a curler. Prudent shots, not a curler.
Pretty quiet out there. This club here has only got 3 sheets. I've been on some clubs that have like 10 sheets, and you get 10 games going on the ice, and it gets really noisy.
Yeah. I can imagine. Especially when you have people like me out there.
Yes.
Have you ever been on the ice when I've been teaching?
You make your point known.
They know I let them know they have to sweep. So this is the last rock of the 5th end. Dana is going to try to bump that red up and hopefully knock out the yellow. I think she's a little outside on this one.
Yeah, her slide wasn't the straightest. Kevin's leaning, hopefully to lean the rock into play.
Well, no harm done.
Nope.
Team Watson and Rutherford score 1. And the score is once again tied up. The score is once again tied up 4-4. And now for another message from Evergreen Curling Club. Hi, I'm Sarah Maywalt. Have you ever wanted to learn to curl? Evergreen Curling Club offers a number of different ways to start your curling journey. If you just want to dip your toe into the ice, we offer a 2-hour Learn to Curl session throughout the year. If you're determined to follow your curling dreams, we have a more intensive program we call Curling 101. Curling 101 is a 5-week program that will get you ready to join a curling league. We'll provide all the equipment you need. Now, I'm not allowed to say that by taking our classes, you will definitely be on the road to a gold medal. Learn to Curl sessions are added throughout the year. Curling 101 registration typically opens in September, December, and March. These classes fill up quickly, so keep your eye on evergreencurling.org throughout the year to grab a spot. And we're back. The soothing sounds of the Light FM.
We are 5/8 through the game.
5/8 through the game.
Three
That's
more.
fractions.
3 more exciting game ends to play.
So exciting. I'm excited. Are you excited, Jeff?
I can't hardly sit still.
Yeah, oh my God, I could just see you there, not sitting still. It's amazing.
I just want to get out there and sweep.
Oh, hard. You got to sweep hard. Hard! Go, 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 go!
I got nothing.
The second best part of curling is the screaming. So here's Dana's first rock. I think this one's close.
He's sweeping it, so it's not heavy. See how it tucks in there as it slows down?
Not a little. They just haven't got that perfect draw weight yet.
I'm going to toss in something else here about mixed doubles. You've noticed, like on the Rutherford Watson team, Dana has the whole game so far has been throwing the first and fifth stone, with Kevin throwing 2, 3, and 4. You can, in the middle of the game, or between ends, change your order. Like Kevin could go and throw first and 5, and Dana could throw 2, 3, and 4. It's allowed.
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that in regular curling.
That is correct. You can substitute, say somebody gets hurt, and you can, no, not just hurt, you can sub one player out in regular curling, but they have to go in the position of the player that's withdrawn.
Yeah, and if you're in international or World Curling Federation events, you have to use their broom too. It's right there in the rules, Team Norway. Quit your whining. It's not. You don't come from wine country curling club, and they don't whine there. It's a different kind of wine. No H. No way. The rules aren't even that long. I've read them, and I have ADD out the wazoo. I don't read anything. Sorry. I got a little upset there. Dialing it back. But Team Norway, seriously, come on. Come on. Team Norway. Okay, and here is Kevin's first stone.
Dana's waiting for instruction. She's ready to sweep. Oh,
this is sort of like a really...
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that would have been like almost it's kind of a double if he pushed them both back, but he couldn't knock any of them out. So
No, but he pushing back, right? They needed to. They couldn't sweep it because it had to curl a little bit more for the better angle. It also needed a little weight to push him back a little further, and that's the dilemma. Okay, I need more weight, so I got to sweep. But if I sweep it, it goes straighter, and therefore it won't get the angle I want. Back and forth. That's age-old dilemma in the game.
There's only so much you can do with a broom. That's a life lesson for you. You can't chop a tomato with a broom. That's science.
And stay with us after the program here, and Sarah will list the top 100 uses for a broom.
The top 100 uses for a broom. You'll be surprised what number 1 is. Film at 11.
And here it comes, crossing that 4-foot line, turning it in.
So it looks like they're just trying to keep Kevin from bumping his red rock up. They couldn't guard both of them.
Yeah, that's the old deal. You got to make a decision. Which red do you want to guard?
But they definitely guarded the more dangerous one.
Yeah, closer to. Shorter distance there's the bump, the easier shot it is. Kevin's going to pick out his favorite rock here.
That's right. Key to picking out the best rock is to squeeze it a little.
That's right.
That's a pro tip there. She's like out in New Jersey right now. Okay, so Kevin looks like he's trying to bump up his red, as predicted.
Hasn't yelled at Dana yet, so either it's close or wide.
It looks a little wide. We'll see in a second.
Gonna get a double bump, raise it over the red, and then tap in that way. Look at that!
Oh!
So like I say, like in billiards, you can tear them off any number of rocks. It's all legal.
And you can call it, but if you call it and something else better happens, you get to keep it.
Yep. Might be a little embarrassed, but you do get to keep it.
You might apologize. I think the Canadians brought that into the sport too. A lot of apologizing. Sorry. Oh, sorry. That's what they say, Canadians. So I think Brian's just trying to sort of lock it up here. Trying to keep it as covered as possible.
And he has done so.
It's a conservative move. But it's getting late in the game, so even scoring 1 here is a significant advantage.
So he knows where he needs to hit it. The angle's defined, but he's figuring out how much does the ice curl with how hard I throw it. So he says, okay, I got to hit it there no matter how hard I throw it, but if he throws a real fast one on it, he's got to be precise as all get out. If he throws an easy one, then he lets it kind of curl into place, and maybe sweeping will have some effect.
I mean, that's one thing with mixed doubles is since you only have really, I mean, they may have 2 sweepers here, but there's no one dedicated to sweeping.
Once again, pretty quiet on the sweep call.
Yeah, looks a little outside.
Yeah. Might still make contact. Well, you saw the
Oh.
you saw the idea that he had there. But if yellow doesn't put up, Feldmans don't put up good guard here. Those are easily tappable rocks. Well, the one on the outside is, anyways.
Yep.
Because the way the rocks curl there, I mean, just kiss it a little bit, and it'll sneak it into fully on the 4.
So we talk about Canadians curling a lot, and probably Canada's where it's most popular. But the sport actually originated in Scotland, and I believe very firmly that they invented curling to make up for the hell sport that is golf.
You play
I play what?
golf.
I have played. If
You've been on the
very
course with the
loosely,
sticks.
very loosely. That term is very loose. Played golf, and it is miserable. And the worst part is it's so expensive.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's like you pay so much to have such a bad time. I know a lot of people love golf. Well, that's interesting. They decided not to try to guard the tap up of the red rock, but
Not sure what he was doing there.
I think he was trying to just sort of sit there, because if he came in on the inside,
Yeah, Kevin
of
still
rock,
got that
I think he
shot,
might
right?
have-
Kevin has the same shot they just threw, only a little bit lighter to, or roll in off the yellow and possibly get the right carom that would make his shooter score.
I mean, there is a possible double there.
That's pretty skinny. It would take some weight. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not really buried, but it's buried for that shot.
I like the raise on the red myself because can't do any harm if he raises his own red. He could raise it onto the yellows. He could raise it, tap his own red, double tap. I'm surprised he's not looking at that because he liked the raise hit from the last end, so it showed that he wouldn't mind it.
Well, they've been a little off all day. That's the thing. They've been a little outside on those sort of lighter shots, and they just haven't got it to curl where they wanted to. So maybe they just feel more comfortable with a heavier shot.
So what they decide on? Hitting the back yellow and trying to roll in?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Kevin kind of pointed at that one red out front as if he wanted to just kind of skim it a little bit and
maybe
slightly alter the direction just a little bit.
Well,
that's a really tough shot.
Now, forget the Astrolab. We're going to have to get like a TI-85 going here. Have to, TI-85, slide rule. Protractors. Number 2 pencils.
Great stuff.
Dan,
old school, baby.
Random lists. That's my calling card.
Can I miss people yelling sweep here?
They might hit
going
their outside rock.
He did go for the outside hit. Look at this. Oh, where's the strength? They ran out of.
No juice. But on the plus side, the Feldmans do have one more rock, and Dana's rock just pushed that red over enough to make some trouble on the path in.
And I don't think they're going to try anything. They're just going to throw this rock away and take their 1 point. Because I don't see anything to shoot at.
Other than the stars.
Well, that's true. Why not? Go for it.
But sometimes the only way to win is not to play the game. And I learned that from War Games, starring Matthew Broderick. Yeah,
And who would know better?
Absolutely. So as you can see, that's an out turn, or as the Canadians would call it, an out turn. That completely missed the house.
Well, that was intentional, though.
Yes, absolutely. That was on purpose miss. So, yellow scores 1. And at the end of 6, we have Watson and Rutherford 4, Team Feldman 5. So we're down to the nitty-gritty here. Last 2 ends. If you're tied at the end of 8, you play another end. And it doesn't generally go any further than that. It's rare to see a blank in an extra end. There's not usually. It's not like baseball where you get to like the 17th inning or something like that. If you've blanked an extra end, you've done it wrong. So Brian's on it pretty quick. It's curling a lot, but weight looks good. A little light.
Hear him huffing and puffing and swearing at the shooter.
Did you hear him swear?
No, but I heard the huffing and puffing.
Okay.
But I knew he was swearing under his breath. I don't know. Maybe they're a nice couple. They don't actually do that.
Nice people swear. At least that's what I tell myself every morning in the mirror. Nice people swear. They're threatening me with a swear jar. You know this, right? They're threatening.
Oh, at the club?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard rumors of.
They think they can. They think if they institute a swear jar, that I personally will fund the entire juniors program.
Let's see. We're a couple hundred short. Let's irritate Sarah tonight.
It's funny because it's true. So Dana's taking the same path in. I think they're going to rub up against the Feldman stone, but that's not too bad, actually.
No. Well, usable rock.
So the Feldmans are going to try coming around the other side where it's open. See if they can get that perfect draw. By the way, you hear us use words like draw. A draw is a shot that pretty much stops where you want it to stop. You have a takeout, which would go through, but you're trying to hit another rock out. And then I guess you have a guard, which is sort of like a really light draw that ends up out front in order to protect other stones. They seem to like it.
Yeah, just kind of cleaning in front. Not big effort on the sweep.
Is it coming around? I think he should have swept a little harder.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
A little light too.
That wouldn't have been light had he gotten around that guard. Yeah, he would have been in the 4-foot. And look at me. I'm telling a U.S. champion something. I should shut up.
That's all right, sir. I'm not listening anyways.
That's right. Why would you listen to a woman? Duh. I can just see the angry male now. I mean, M-A-I-L. Man, there's so many ways to mess up English, I'll tell you.
Boy, Kevin looks lonely.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming with a little heat here.
Come on, curl them more here. There it goes.
Yeah, here we go.
Little doink.
That's a nice shot.
Yep.
And red is now sitting 2.
Yellow goes, what do we need to do? Oh, probably going for the double.
Yeah, but you notice how much time they spent lining that up.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, we'll hit the stone and hope it goes where we want it
That's right.
to.
Yeah. Throw it in the general vicinity, get the right muscle on it, and see what happens.
I mean, there are times when I have made a decent shot or two, but there's just no point. For me, there's just no point in trying to parse it that closely. Now, I will say that I think as a lefty, he didn't give himself enough ice there.
Well, we'll find out. Oh, he is sweeping, so yeah, it's on the inside.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think it's underappreciated about curling, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Is just the difference of the angles from the left and the right hack.
Well, it's not just left and right. It's different positions where even the same-handed person starts. Some people will start the stone right at their toe.
Mm-hmm.
Some people start it in the center between the hacks. But the lefty, it is more exaggerated. It's farther away from a righty start point. In the old days, you used to pendulum swing the rock between the hacks, so pretty much everybody started from the same place.
Well, I actually, my Sunday team has 2 lefties on it.
Ah.
So I always think like, oh, that shot, I can't have Greg hit it, but Courtney might be able to hit it. She might have a better angle there.
This the guy I commonly curl with. We set our rocks up a good inch difference, maybe 2 inches different.
But whenever you sort of like cross the center line, you need to give a little bit more ice, just because you're traveling that much further.
And there's always that old superstition that the center line is actually a bump. I gotta get over that hump of the center line.
What, that's a superstition?
Everyone, yeah, sometimes you swear it's there. Oh, we gotta cross. I can't cross the center line. There's a ridge there.
So Kevin is throwing a guard here just to protect against the bump up.
Chicken, I tell you. Should have raised his own.
Ooh.
Get aggressive, Kevin. Come on, baby. It's a safe shot.
It is a safe shot. And like I said, there's money on the line here. I can't remember how much. It's like 400, right?
I don't know what they paid.
I got me and Steven. Steven's a junior curler. We're actually in this tournament.
Yeah, and they made it to the quarterfinals. They qualified for the playoffs.
We made it to we were 1 win away from actual money and me ruining his NCAA his NCAA eligibility. But the funny thing was, we weren't that when we started playing, we looked at how everything was set up, and our goal was to get through our group not dead last, because if you were last in your group, your consolation match was 8 a.m. Sunday.
There's the reward.
So we were like, okay, if we get third, our consolation match is on Saturday. Much better.
So,
And then we did even better than that. It was a miracle. And now Feldman is guarding Rutherford's red.
Yep, they're just trading each other guards here. So did you get any money in the quarters?
No.
Oh,
No. That's okay.
Oh.
That's hey.
Hey, you got there. That's great.
I mean, I mean, I can't complain. I think we were seated 16th out of 16. So we did well.
He's thinking about, can he curl around this whole show and find the 4-foot?
Well, he doesn't have to curl all the way around to find the 4-foot. He's just got to get in behind those yellows.
Yep, the 8-foot, yeah. You always aim for the center. Come on.
I don't. Sometimes you want a shot out front.
But it's last rock, isn't it? Who's got the hammer?
Yeah,
Red's got the hammer.
Right. I thought.
So I don't know why they're.
There's one more.
The way they're looking at it, there must be another 2 more. Yeah.
There's 2 more.
Because otherwise they'd just be throwing for the 8-foot, like you say. So they're looking at either tapping, which would be, you got to hit that just right, but it would double. It wouldn't be a bad shot. Tough though, real tough.
Well, you could drive the yellow
onto the red.
Yeah. I mean, that's fraught with peril.
Yeah, because if you stay outside, you go yellow into yellow.
I mean, this is one of those decisions that I hate, just because I'm almost sure no matter what, if I try to draw around, I'll hang it out a little bit. If I try to tap, I'm going to miss by just a hair and bump one of theirs in.
You got to be more positive, Sarah.
I'm positive.
That you're going to do that.
Shot.
Yeah.
I hate that call. But I'm getting somewhat better. I've been able to draw the 4-foot, like when I've tried to.
Just don't be afraid to miss. Enjoy the shot.
I throw the shot, but I'm still afraid to miss.
Cool. And once you get over that, it's a big block.
I wish they had started sweeping a little earlier. This looks like it looks like it's short. Line was okay though.
Yeah, another 6 feet away, it'd been perfect.
Now, it sort of looks like they're going to guard that, but correct me if I'm wrong, but if they were to hit that red on the outside, that yellow would jam on the other yellow, might carry in.
It would definitely, to me, it would look out if right. So yellow would want to hit the red.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's almost
and red. What are they guarding for? Because red can't hit the red, or else would have happened what you're describing.
Yeah, so, it seems to me that
come around
you might as well, either you could try coming around, or you could try hitting that red. I think they're questioning their call right now. That's what they're doing. And I've done this. You get down to the other side, and everything looks different. And sometimes you fool yourself, and sometimes you actually see something important. So many times I've gone down there, oh, that's way too much ice. And then thrown the rock right on the broom, and then it crashed on the guard.
Yeah, because you don't look at it from that perspective. All your strategies from one perspective, then you go to the other end and different viewpoint. You go, oh, that's all wrong. No, it wasn't wrong.
No, the way you were calling it the entire game, that's the way you should continue. And now, see, that's a lot more fraught with peril, in my opinion. Because you have you're a lot more likely to hit that red up. I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I've curled all of 18 months. I'm freaking practically a toddler.
If you're trying to compare 2 different shots, you go, okay, which ice do I know better? Which curl am I more confident in? And that would be your choice.
So here is Team Feldman's last rock. And it looks like they're going for the yellow on yellow raise. They look Yeah, okay. This doesn't look horrible.
It's gonna, just ran out of snuff.
Oh.
So now Kevin's got a little bump raise.
Yeah, if you see a curler sweeping outside in, a lot of times they're trying to make it curl a little more.
Boy, if you didn't have the yellow guard way out front, and that yellow in front of the two yellows was just a little bit over, he could slam that, clear those two yellows out, and maybe, I'd have to see where the positions are, maybe sit 2 or 3. But he's just got to raise. Dan has just got to bump that one red.
Well, I mean, all they need is a bite at the 8-foot, and they have 2.
Yep. Get your draw weight sweeping ready.
Yeah, get along, little doggy. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Come back to my 4-foot.
Oh yeah. You got some curling going on. Thank you. Thank you. You all are welcome. So Dan is getting ready. This is the last shot of the 7th end. This would be really... It'd be really great to go into the last end up 1.
Well, just a little bit of sweeping, or is he jumping on it hard?
No, he's...
No.
Oh, he thinks it good. He thinks it's good. It's a little offside.
A little double tap is okay. There it is.
Well, that's just enough. And Watson and Rutherford go up with a 2.7th end. So at the end of 7, Watson and Rutherford 6. Feldman and Feldman 5. And we'll be back with more after this word from Evergreen Curling Club. Behind the back! evergreencurling.org. And we're back.
And we're all ready for an exciting last end.
Exciting. I'm pumped. This is great. This is a great game. It's a good first game.
It's a 1-point game here.
Yeah.
The team that's down has the hammer, so odds are good they're going to get at least 1 point. We could see extra ends.
We could see overtime.
Every shot counts now. Dan is loosening up those shoulders.
Getting her, getting loosen up. I mean, I'm not gonna say Dana's,
They're just
a little old, but I mean, she's just like a fine wine country.
Yeah.
When we were playing with our quarterfinal game was against Kevin and Dana, and the first end Dana threw like perfect draw, and I just went boo, boo Dana, and she just goes to me, get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and you did.
And I think no.
She did it.
Get used to it.
She did it again and again and again, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
Oh, that's a bit heavy. That's too bad.
It's all right. Gives the other team overconfidence. Dan and Kevin's got them just where they want them.
It's true. Now it gets a little bit, it gets a little nerve-wracking. I've had a couple of moments in my life where, I was I was close to something. I I did in bowling once have the first 9 strikes, so I entered the
Oh.
10th with a
Oh.
chance for 300 through a split, of course.
At least didn't throw a gutter.
That would have been better. Just letting you know. No, I had a match last year. My MO at the curling club so far has been to participate in everything I can, and that includes events that somebody of my experience probably wouldn't. And I was in the pick playdowns last year, and in first 3 games we lost. Last game we came back from down 5 after 4 and won it in 9.
All right.
But I'll tell you, that last shot in the 8th end, I missed it really well. Let's put it that way. My heart's beating already.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah. So here comes Kevin. He's going to try to... Looks like he's going to try to come around and sit shot here, but it looks a little heavy to me.
Yeah, it does. Both him and Dan are hot and heavy.
A little bit.
What's going
maybe
on?
Nerves?
These guys shouldn't be affected by nerves.
I don't know. I think they're so used to blowing people out. You know, they get in a close game.
But they're both long-time curlers. Both of them
true.
curled before they got to Evergreen.
But it always is a little nervous, isn't it?
All depends on whether you're shooting. If you're having a good game, I don't get nervous. Because I know odds are I feel confident I'm going to make a shot. I may not make it, but I feel confident.
Yeah.
But if I'm having a rough game and I haven't got my balance, then it's like, oh, what's going to happen? This rock.
Yeah.
But a tight game where you're shooting great, it is just so much fun. Especially if both teams are shooting great. You're back at it, you're at it. You expect the other team to make the shot. It adds one more dimension to the strategy, and it's a riot.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get there. It might take 10 years. I'll be like 55, and I'll be like, wow.
Oh no, 55. How old that is.
I'm just saying, that would be like the first one. Like, you were in the, you won the juniors. So you were doing that at like the ripe old age of like 18.
That's when we had this last weekend in Seattle. We had a seniors team. The youngest on the team was 55. I mean, probably about 57. So we're up there with the old guys, but we showed them how to play.
Yellow's getting a bunch of rocks in there already. And I mean, they have the hammer.
It's not looking good.
They've got to get something. They got to get something going here.
But one good shot, precisely planted, would cut those 3 down to maybe 1. And
yep.
That looked a little outside too. As he let go, it kind of pushed it out. But we'll see. Well, they're sweeping, so maybe it's light.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Get by.
Well, they got by, but...
Not enough weight.
Yeah, the line was okay. It just was a bit light.
Wow, they've had like 3 missed shots so far.
But that's the best of them. That's the best of them. Because it's still in play. You can still use that. That's the sage advice I've gotten over the past year and a half, is learn how to miss well.
Yep.
You know, I still don't, but I mean, it's a goal.
Yeah, we'll know the positive side of the miss. And know the positive ice to call and the positive turn to call.
Their weight is really good right now.
Just what Dan and Kevin needed. Another yellow.
Well,
he can still come around here and sit biting the button. And if he does, makes it tough for the other team. I think it'll curl here, although these are the two, Dana's first draw and Kevin's draw area that hung out wide, but they were both hot.
I really, I might throw up a picture of Steven and I right here, just so you can see the size difference between us. It's kind of like Dana and Kevin, but in reverse. Steven still hasn't. I mean, he's about. After next summer, he'll probably be 6'2".
Yeah.
You know, he's right at that age.
All right, talk to each other. We want to hear your call. Make some noise.
They are sweeping.
Oh, that looks fast
hot
again. 3 shots down here.
Well, no, this one's digging a little.
Wow, either really keened up there or the.
Ooh,
oh
wow.
Boy.
I'm pretty sure that's yellow sitting too. I mean, the Team Feldman has a real opportunity to draw down and sit on that red rock.
Yep. I don't know if they want to go that deep. But if they go that deep, then Kevin can come down and sit on them and make it very difficult for them to score 2.
Yeah, true.
So you don't come up quite that deep. But that does open in a double for Kevin. But that's a tough shot, the way those rocks have been falling off there.
Yeah. I'd almost think about trying to hit that rock out. Maybe roll yours clear. Because then you'd be sitting 3 and they're all... I mean, they'd have to be pretty... At this point, I think they'd want to be... I would hope they're really confident that they're sitting 2 here.
Yeah, from this camera angle, it looks like they are, but the camera may not be right centered on the circle.
Yeah, it's got a little fisheye action going on.
Well, they're still hoping this thing curls. They haven't had a rock curl over here yet. Well, the last red moved somewhat, but...
Well, it's a long way to curl. If you look at it there, to go around a guard that's that close and to get in towards the button, that's a long way.
They don't need to be shot. They just need to be secure number 2
right.
to go in the extra ends.
And extra ends with the hammer, too.
Mm-hmm. See if this is Dana's lucky rock.
So this is the last shot for Watson and Rutherford in regulation, so to speak.
And a hush falls over the crowd.
Yeah, it's you almost want to throw more quickly. Oh, that looks way outside. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kevin's not doing anything with it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Wow.
Okay. So they're taking another look at it, sort of trying to figure out whether or not they want to, what kind of risks they want to take. Although I don't see a lot of risk on either side with this shot, to be honest with you. I think the only thing you could do is hit that outside red, like way outside, and have it sort of careen in. I don't really see another way for them to push a red in closer.
What do you do? The back line, draw weight, and just tap that red. That's
what I was thinking.
The second red, or there's a shot up front to raise a yellow.
I think they're going for the straight draw, though.
No, just letting it die. They're going for the measurement. They think they have it. And from this camera angle, it does look like it, but...
Yeah. But we'll have to get the official out of the ice.
Yep. I think old Corey's got the duty again here.
There he goes. Come on, Corey. Corey Feldman.
Oh.
See? It all comes back. License to Drive. The Goonies. Yes. Come on, Corey. See, you don't want a guy named Corey measuring this if you're Watson Rutherford, because it's going to go to Feldman. I mean, if they were Haim, then it might be even. We can't get close enough to actually see the dial there, but
right about here, he slips and moves a rock. No contest.
Ooh. And red is outside. So yellow scores 2. So in the 8th end, Team Feldman comes back with 2 points. And they win the MOPAC Mixed Doubles Championship.
Congratulations.
With a score of 6-7. That's great. They did a great job.
It's a great game. No, right down to the end.
And they come from an arena club, right?
Yes, they do. Yep.
Are they from? Do you know if they're actually?
I don't know. I don't know their history. No.
But a lot of times arena ice is a lot more trouble than the lovely dedicated ice we have here at Evergreen, and it's great to see. It's great to see great curlers come from the arena clubs, and I hope all of these arena clubs can get themselves dedicated ice at some point. Right now they're doing this is as close as we come to an award ceremony. They're just going to sort of take their picture next to the score. There's no cup or anything like that, but they will get a lovely check of, I think, $400, which is that's not nothing. That'll pay for their gas at least.
Yeah, right.
No, it's a great game. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for sitting here with me and commentating.
You're welcome. Hopefully I provided sufficient color.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
You painted a tapestry of curling.
I can't match, best of show or dodgeball, but
Well, no. This is a real. I try to be funny and I try to be personable because there's a lot of. It's like baseball. You got a lot of little nooks and crannies in there.
Got a lot of fillers.
But I one, you're so knowledgeable, and 2, you're pretty funny.
Good.
So,
great fun, Sarah. Let's do it again.
We will do it again. And that is it for the first episode of Portland Curling. We'll be back in about a month with with a game from the MOPAC men's tournament. Until then, my name is Sarah Maywalt. For me, for Jeff Tomlinson, for Evergreen Curling Club, good night and good curling. Have a good night.